Defense News. It's proudly sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union. If you're a member of our nation's armed forces, the Department of Defense, or if your family is, we'd be proud to serve you too.
On this episode of Defense News Weekly, more coverage from SHOT Show 2026. Manufacturers showcase their latest offerings at the largest shooting sports expo in the country. We check out a budget-minded handgun from FN and 2 updated models of the venerable SCAR rifle. Plus, Heckler and Koch show off new compact and mid-size pistols, both paired with new optics, and Sig Sauer surprises the expo with a new drone carrying a machine gun. Also, we get updates on some of the latest news out of the Navy. It's the latest in news and analysis, from the Pentagon to the platoon, here on Defense News Weekly. At SHOT Show 2026 in Las Vegas, the event hall was full of new and updated gear from vendors all over the country. Sig Sauer used the occasion to showcase their newest version of the Spear rifle, a belt-fed machine gun, and a large drone capable of carrying it into battle to fire on targets from overhead. Check it out.
Hey everyone, Phil Strader here at SHOT Show 2026. We're obviously in the Sig Sauer booth, and behind me is the Wall of Spear. And for those of you who don't know, we actually won the next generation military contract for rifles and for belt-fed machine guns. This is the XM7. It was our submission rifle to basically give the soldiers more capability on the battlefield. A 6.8x51 round that has longer range and is more effective on target, and we were able to put it together in this package. We listened to our soldiers and their feedback and said, hey, we want something that's got a little bit less weight on it. So we removed the folding stock, cut some of the fat off of this thing, still has the same endurance, the same capabilities, the same caliber, but now it's in a much lighter package, and we are looking forward to giving them the ability to be more effective on the battlefield. And it starts right here with the M7, but it doesn't stop there. So you may know us as the commercial pistol company, Sig Sauer, but obviously we're in the defense industry too, and the battlefield is changing, and we are changing with it. We are now in the machine gun and drone business, and above me is our large Class 3 drone, and it has our mini remote weapon station on it and the M250 machine gun. It is day and night thermal capable, and it has a 3-hour flight time with the machine gun mounted. Now, we were able to demonstrate this at our defense symposium in front of a lot of people and had great results, and we're just happy to be a part of a technology that is going to change the way our soldiers fight. So speaking of next-gen weapons, this is another firearm that was part of that contract. This is the M250 machine gun, shoots a 6.8x51 round, so the same capability and same range as the XM7, and the suppressor is heat shielded and is compatible with this firearm as well as the M7, so they use the same suppressor. Quick change barrel capability on this firearm, and all mounting solutions for your optics, thermals, everything can be done on the tray. So when you reload the firearm, you don't have to worry about losing zero when you go back to fighting the fight. That is the M250, hell of a gun, and it's going to give our soldiers on the battlefield the support they need.
Up next, FN was also busy at SHOT Show, where they debuted a new budget-minded pistol. Have a look.
Hey everybody, this is Cody Meeks here at the FN booth introducing our latest pistol product, the FN 309. So we've done a lot of work here, designed this from the ground up. We've done a lot of work extensively with the magazines as well. We've recognized that you know, there's a lot of people who don't want to spend $800, $900 on our duty-ready 509 handgun. So we wanted to put something together that gives you kind of that FN quality at a lower price point. This is going to be sitting around $500. So these magazines, I'll talk about these in particular first. We've done extensive development work with these magazines. You'll notice that they are all polymer construction magazines, no metal inserts here, but you can assure that these will meet kind of our FN quality standards. They've gone through our normal gauntlet of testing and then some. As you know, the magazine is really the heartbeat of the gun, so we had to make sure that these ran well. So moving on to the handgun, we've done a lot of innovative design with our unlock block and our barrel relationship. We've integrated the feed ramp into the unlock block, so you don't have to have that feed ramp directly into the barrel, which helps us reduce cost. So starting from the muzzle of the gun, you can see that we have our fiber optic front sight, nice overmolded polymer sight. In the rear here, we have the U-notch that has a high contrast white on it. Here we have our barrel, which has been optimized to feed without necessarily having the feed ramp included onto the barrel. And we've also been playing around with the weight of the barrel to try and get a reduced recoil impulse as well. Moving on back, we have our MRD system here. It comes direct mount for shield RMS pattern, so you can put it on Vortexes, Holosuns. Moving on down, we have a reversible magazine catch here. We do have our drop safe trigger. This has a shrouded trigger rather than the safety blade, but it serves the same function. We also have other 2 passive safeties built into the gun, our trigger pull safety as well as our out of battery disconnect. So moving on to the sights, we've done some clever design here. We've done some overmolds here that allow us to do a fiber optic front as well as a high contrast U-notch in the rear. And these sights still use our normal dovetails as all of our other pistol products, so you can still swap them out for suppressor height sights or metal sights or whatever you wish. So now talking about the fire control mechanism for this gun, this is an internally hammer fired mechanism. So it's going to be similar to the Reflex, though it is a different design. That one's designed, optimized to be thin. This one's designed and optimized to be a very cost-effective design, but it's still going to give you a 5.5 pound trigger pull. And we're excited to be able to offer something at this $500 price point that gives you the same reliability, quality, and durability that you would expect from our higher price point gun.
FN also unveiled the latest revisions to their SCAR rifles. The many updates are intended to reduce recoil and improve ergonomics for the shooter. Here's a look at the latest.
Hello, I'm Cody Foster with FN America here at SHOT Show 2026, and we are debuting our new next generation SCAR. Some of the major changes from the SCAR from Legacy, we did extend the receiver by about 3 inches, adding M-lock instead of Picatinny. Behind the handguard, we did update the bolt carrier. The bolt carrier is a 2-piece hydraulically buffered bolt carrier, so hydraulic buffer to reduce that felt recoil. 2-piece, so you can go from non-recip, which is how it comes from the factory. You can move it back to recip without buying an entirely new bolt carrier. That itself is backwards compatible into a Legacy SCAR, so if you did want to get that functionality into your Legacy SCAR, you can. The fully ambidextrous trigger module is also backwards compatible, so you have a bolt catch, bolt release on both sides, right hand and left hand, extended and better ergonomic mag button and safety selector. True AR grip compatibility, so you can put whichever AR grip you would like on there, and like I said earlier, that is backwards compatible. We did stick with the SCAR mags. It's a proven mag. It's been around for nearly 70 years. We did a lot of other improvements. We added QD cups in the back plate as well as the stock. We recontoured the stock so that it's better for left-handed shooters. From the factory, it will come with M-Bus Pros, a vertical foregrip, extra selector levers, a M-Lock QD, and a bunch of other accessories just to make the shooter experience better. We did not jeopardize anything. Moving to next generation SCAR is tested to the same rigorous standards that the Legacy SCAR was. One thing that will be noticed is the fact that we are shipping with a Surefire muzzle device, but this one right here has a QD suppressor. So this QD762 is also launching here at SHOT. We have a QD762 and QD556. This is a forward venting low back pressure suppressor. This suppressor is hub mount compatible. The regulator is still a 2-position regulator, suppressed and unsuppressed. It is marked on the actual gas block. And one other accessory that comes with it is a heat shield on the actual weapon. That protects your hands so you don't get hot gases coming from the regulator out to your hand. Overall, we did a major improvement to a Legacy firearm without compromising any of the reliability or durability that SCAR is known for.
When we come back, more from our coverage from SHOT Show in Las Vegas. Welcome back to Defense News Weekly. Firearms makers have a big presence at the annual SHOT Show, and few more than Heckler and Koch. We stopped by H&K to learn about 2 updated handguns and a rifle based on their military models. Check it out.
Hey guys, I'm James with H&K. I am the business development manager here for HK USA. Happy to showcase some of our latest products here at SHOT Show 2026. We'll start with our micro compact pistol, the CC9. We released this for last year and have continued to update this model now with our new optics provider, Vortex. It is very well paired for the CC9. As a company, H&K is known for our rugged reliability and hard use firearms. We needed to have an optic that was just as dependable, and we found that in the Vortex Defender. The CC9 is our most compact pistol, very slim, very discreet, easy to carry. In my opinion, it is eliminating the excuses on why you don't have a pistol for everyday carry. Incredibly shootable and incredibly reliable. You will outperform yourself in what your expectation is in capability with a micro compact by choosing the CC9. Also for this year, we've expanded our original VP9 series with the VP9A1. Last year we launched it in the F and K models, the F for full size and K for compact. This year we're releasing it in the X model or crossover. It's a size in between the full size and the compact models. We're also releasing the tactical model, so longer threaded barrels, so if you want to mount a suppressor on those weapons, you can do so as well. These are offered as an optics ready model, as well as you can see showcased here, are optics equipped, which comes with a taller suppressor height sights, and the enclosed version of the Vortex Defender CCW optic. This one gives you the ability to have a solar backup, which increases the life of the battery massively. Anytime that you have enough ambient light out there, it's going to run off the solar charging system, and only when you need to, when you don't have that light, will it run off of the 2032 battery. Also on these new optics, you have 3 different reticle options, so you can switch between a standard dot, a circle, or a circle with a dot. And then finally here, we have our MR series of rifles. We continue to expand those with last year's launch on both the 5.56 and the 7.62 variants. Those are now offered in standard 16.5-inch rifles, as well as on the 5.56 an 11-inch pistol variant or short-barreled rifle, or as you can see here, the 13-inch 7.62 that's offered as a pistol or short-barreled rifle. Very, very capable weapons with all of the latest updates from our military HK416 A5 series lines. So you get the new slimline, multi-position buttstock, reinforced castle nuts, multiple quick detachment points, and full ambidextrous controls on your charging handle, on your selector for your bolt release and magazine release, and you also get an adjustable gas regulator, which allows you to optimize the performance of the weapons, whether you're running suppressed or unsuppressed, and whether or not you're running a traditional baffle type suppressor or one of the new low back pressure type suppressors. So if you're looking for the absolute best potential in an AR platform, you'd be hard pressed to find something better than our MRA4 series of rifles.
When we come back, Jeanette Mack from Navy Federal Credit Union is here to help you avoid scammers looking to steal your personal information. Stay tuned. Welcome back. On this edition of Money Minute, Jeanette Mack from Navy Federal Credit Union returns with tips on how to spot red flags and outsmart scammers.
These days, scammers are getting craftier, but don't worry, their goal is still the same old thing, trying to gain access to your money or personal information. That's why staying on top of the red flags and signals is so important. Scammers like to create urgency, pressure you to act fast, or promise rewards that sound too good to be true. They may reach out by phone, text, email, or social media and pretend to be someone you trust. If something feels rushed or a bit off, pause and protect your information. Never share passwords, one-time codes, or account details with anyone who contacts you unexpectedly. Legitimate organizations won't ask for sensitive info out of the blue. Then report it, even if you didn't fall for it. Reporting scams helps authorities spot patterns and stop criminals from targeting others. You can report fraud to agencies like the Federal Trade Commission, the Internet Crime Complaint Center, local law enforcement, or even your financial institution. By keeping an eye out for red flags and reporting suspicious activity, you're not just safeguarding yourself, you're making it harder for scammers to win.
To get more coverage of military and defense topics, use your binos to find militarytimes.com and defensenews.com for more headlines. And to be the smartest Osprey crew chief in the Corps, sign up for our early bird brief compiled each morning to bring you the most recent news. Finally, if social media is where you collect open source intelligence, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. When we return, updated benefits and healthcare headlines, and a roundup of news in the Navy. Stay tuned. Welcome back. With tensions mounting in several regions around the globe, the Navy has been very busy keeping a U.S. global presence. For an update on the latest, we turn to the Navy League of the United States for insight.
Hello, my name is Admiral Jamie Fogo, United States Navy retired, and I'm the Dean of the Center for Maritime Strategy at the Navy League of the United States in Washington, D.C. There's a lot happening in the Middle East right now. As some of you may know, over the weekend, Iran launched live fire drills near or in the Straits of Hormuz, temporarily shutting down this vital waterway, which carries about 20% of global oil traffic and could become a direct maritime flashpoint. At the same time, President Trump has deployed a second aircraft carrier to the Middle East as negotiations continue in Geneva on U.S.-Iranian nuclear arms talks. Now, the value of those aircraft carriers that are operating in the shores near to our Middle Eastern allies and friends, and also Iran, are significant. First of all, the USS Abraham Lincoln comes from the Pacific Theater, and we are perfectly capable of swinging assets, particularly nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and their strike groups, from one theater to the next in a very short period of time to answer the needs of the United States of America or the President of the United States. That second carrier, USS Gerald R. Ford, has been operating for quite some time in both the European and Middle Eastern theaters. Recently was down in the Caribbean for the operations in Venezuela and is now swinging back into the Middle East. What does that tell you about our carriers? They're able to move fast, dwell on station for a long time, conduct foreign presence from a sovereign airfield, a couple of acres of sovereign space anywhere in the world with some of the most sophisticated strike fighters. It gives the president options. It gives him the ability to let our adversaries know that we're there. It gives him the option of executing deterrence, and if deterrence fails, it gives him the option of using a big stick to get what we need and what we want in the theater. The second issue that came up this past week was, of course, we had a big conference out in San Diego West with the U.S. Naval Institute and AFCEA. There was a lot of discussion of Navy thinking and retooling on command of robotic and autonomous systems. I think Admiral Caudle has made it clear that the preponderance of force in our fleet that's going to be around for a very long time are those manned systems, to include destroyers, to include a future frigate, to include submarines, both SSNs and SSBNs, and of course, nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. The life expectancy of some of the surface ships that I just mentioned and the submarines is notionally about 30 years. In many cases, we've gone to 40 years, and an aircraft carrier lasts for 50 years. So Enterprise retired at about 50, and Nimitz will retire at about the same amount of time of service, which is just amazing. So Ford and her sister ships will be around for 50 years. So that's the point. The preponderance of force to be used in naval warfare will be those manned platforms. The augmentation force comes from the unmanned systems, and I, like you, would much rather send an unmanned system into harm's way because I don't want to lose U.S. Navy sailors. Admiral Caudill calls this the hedge part of the strategy. The niche capability that these unmanned systems, whether they be airborne, on the surface, or subsurface, bring to the capabilities of the fleet. The last thing that happened in the last week, which is significant and very interesting and near and dear to my heart, is the strategic command shifts in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. We just had the Munich Security Conference over the weekend, and prior to convening that conference in Munich, Germany, there was an announcement that 2 senior joint force commands in NATO will shift nations who are in command. So my old command of Joint Force Command Naples in Italy, Allied Joint Force Command, will shift from an American commander to an Italian commander. Time frame is not currently stated. And Allied Joint Force Command Norfolk in Norfolk, Virginia, will also shift from an American commander to a British commander in the near future. Time frame not necessarily stated. The Supreme Allied Commander will remain in his seat, and the U.S. will assume command of NATO MARCOM, or the Maritime Command, in Northwich, UK. Again, time frame has not been discussed. Am I concerned about that? Absolutely not. I think one NATO commander is a professionally trained warrior and is equally interchangeable with any other NATO commander, and I think our alliance is in good hands. Thanks very much for the opportunity to give you an update this week.
Finally, to close out the show this week, here's our partners at the Military Officers Association of America with news on recent changes to your healthcare benefits.
Now, benefits and healthcare headlines presented by the Military Officers Association of America. TRICARE Dental Program beneficiaries will see a slight rise in premiums this year. The program includes active duty family members as well as National Guard and Reserve members and their families. The new rates take effect March 1st, but the coverage costs are billed a month in advance. The rates will remain in effect through February 28, 2027. The increased cost is less than 2%, and many families experienced a double-digit percent decrease in cost in 2025. Active duty family members enrolled in TRICARE Prime Remote will no longer face copayments for covered prescriptions. The change is effective as of February 28th and will be automatic. Eligible beneficiaries do not need to register or file reimbursement claims. The waiver does not apply to those on TRICARE Prime Remote overseas, nor does it apply to any other TRICARE or TRICARE for Life beneficiary. Patient advocates have a new method to track and manage feedback across the military health system. The Patient Advocate Assistance Reporting Tool, or PART, is designed to manage feedback reported to patient advocates. It replaces inconsistent methods and gives patient advocates a new platform to collect, track, and resolve patient concerns. This new tool is a positive step for consistency, but MOA continues to advocate for the Military Care Act, H.R. 6796. This bill would require the Pentagon to establish a user-friendly digital platform for beneficiaries to file and track complaints, as well as real-time transmission of complaints to patient advocates. For more benefits news, visit MOAA.org.
Well, that's all the time we have in this episode. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.